recording, we're live. And it's a good sound system now, they can hear you. Watch what you say.
He's, my opinion of him completely changed.
I was listening to a meeting in the sound system, I was like,
Board secretary.
Sound really
oh, what?
Best in the business.
She's great.
Best in the business, for sure.
Yeah. What's funny, I was listening to the newer sound system though, and I was like, oh.
Oh, yeah,
Oh.
and people don't realize how early it's on at the council meeting.
Thank you. And they don't realize that
How ripped the
Yeah.
generator out. Yeah.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Oh, that's okay, are you okay? It's just a joke.
It's only my patella.
All right.
Three of them now.
Oh, you notice as you get older, you got a lot more black and blue. That you don't remember when you got there.
I'd like to open the regular meeting of the Point Pleasant Beach Board of Adjustment for May 21st, 2026. Get a reading of the Open Public Meetings Act, please.
Adequate notice of the time of this meeting was given under the provisions of the Open Public Meeting Act and was posted and sent to the official designated newspapers in compliance with the law.
Roll call, please.
Secretary Davis.
Yes.
Ms. McFadden.
Here.
Vice Chair Reynolds.
Here.
Chairman Strunches.
Without, just realized without his glasses, he's going like this. So I
He
can't
needs
see
them. I have
anything.
like 10 pairs in my
10
office.
pairs of readers? Yeah,
Yeah, I'll
good.
go get your pair.
Here,
I might have some.
here, but
Mr. McGee.
Here, but I can't see.
can't see.
Here.
Mr. Simonovich.
Here.
I have the one set of minutes. Your initials are listed if you may vote. May I have a motion?
First. So moved?
Second?
Ms. McFadden?
Yes.
Mr. McGee?
Yes.
Vice Chair Reynolds?
Yes.
Mr. Simonovich?
Yes.
And Chairman Strunches.
Yes.
Be it resolved by the Board of Adjustment that it hereby memorializes the action and vote approving application 2026-17 of Four Shore Builders at 209 Baltimore Avenue with conditions. Motion?
So moved.
Second.
Secretary Davis?
Yes.
Ms. McFadden?
Yes.
Mr. McGee?
Yes.
Vice Chair Reynolds?
Yes.
Mr. Simonovich?
Yes.
Be it resolved by the Board of Adjustment that it hereby memorializes the action and vote approving application 2026-06 of Maurizio Calero at 307 Chicago with conditions.
So moved.
Second.
Secretary Davis?
Yes.
Ms. McFadden?
Yes.
Mr. McGee?
Yes.
Vice Chair Reynolds?
Yes.
And Mr. Simonovich?
Yes.
Calling the agenda, first application, 2026-08 of Joseph Deani at 708 Foreman, represented by Matt Dolan. Here. The second application is represented by Mr. Jackson's office, Jillian McLear, application 2026-11 of Michael Andreskavich and Amy Reisenberger. And they're present. And we're all.
Go right ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My name is Matt Dolan. I am an attorney with the law firm of Minor and Landis LLP, and I am here tonight representing the applicant, or applicants, I suppose, Joseph and Mary Deani, who are the owners of 708 Foreman Avenue, located in Point Pleasant Beach here, directly across from the high school over there. So the applicants are here tonight seeking certain bulk variance relief for what I think are relatively modest residential improvements in the rear yard of their pre-existing residential home. The application concerns the reconstruction, really, replacement of a pre-existing deck that existed in their backyard, along with a slight enlargement of that pre-existing deck, the addition of a pergola on top, and the installation of a rubber-type plastic rubber shed in their rear yard. Just as an aside, because I think there were some questions that were raised with respect to the reconstruction of the deck, and this will come out during the course of Mr. Deani's testimony. But the deck in question, we weren't able to find any permits for the deck since it was constructed, but it had been there since Mr. Deani purchased the home many years ago. I personally I've known Mr. Deaney since I was about 14 years old from here in town, and I remember the deck being there 25 years ago. It was there for a long time. It was falling apart, and as he'll testify to during the course of the application, Mr. Deaney replaced the deck, and as indicated, slightly expanded a side part of it in order to continue to use it moving forward. So I have here with me tonight Mr. Deaney. He'll be my only witness. He'll testify as to the photographs that you should all have copies of. He'll testify as to the plot plan that was submitted, and address some of the bulk variance, or in this case, C variance proofs that Mr. Deaney is seeking in connection with this application. The proofs that we'll present to you tonight, I think will establish that Mr. Deaney maybe potentially meets the standard for C1 variance relief based on this property, the fact that it was constructed in the early 1900s, it was constructed without a garage, he needs some storage space in his backyard, which he's utilizing with the sheds, a pre-existing shed and now the new shed that's been constructed. But more importantly, the C2 variance proofs, Mr. Deaney will testify how the benefits of this application outweigh any detriments, that there's no substantial detriment to the public good, and it's really an appropriate and visually appealing use of his property, the improvements. So with that being said, I would like to call my one and only witness, Mr. Deaney, who's sitting to my right here, if that's okay, Mr. Chairman.
Yep, he's sworn in.
Raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you'll give before this board will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Can you state your name for the record?
Joseph Deaney.
Please proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Deaney, are you the owner of 708
Yes.
Foreman Avenue?
Yes.
Just wait till I'm done
All right.
with my question. I know, don't jump the gun. So are you the owner of 708 Foreman Avenue located in Point Pleasant Beach, New Jersey?
Yes.
And that's the property that is before the board on the application here tonight?
Yes.
Approximately how long have you owned this property?
23 years.
And during the course of that 23-year period, was there a deck located on the property?
Yes.
And where was that deck located?
Behind the house.
And is that deck located in the same location it's in now?
Yes, same footprint.
Approximately when was your home at 708 Foreman Avenue constructed?
I believe like 1900 original.
And during the course of your ownership, have you ever performed any renovations to the property?
We put new water line in, new sewer line in. We just recently redid inside the house.
And in connection with that, process, the inside, you obtained your permits and everything?
Yeah, oh yeah. Mhm.
You obtained all the permits for the town, and during the course of that process, did anything come up with this deck, the pre-existing deck, before you
No.
replaced it?
No, not at all.
As part of your application here tonight, briefly describe to the board what relief you're seeking and, what type of work was completed on the property.
We redid the deck because it was falling apart, and then I added a pergola for shade, and we put a little plastic shed in the corner to store our bikes because they were sitting in the yard, tarped over, and they looked terrible. So I thought it'd be okay to put that up. So the yard will look a lot nicer, cleaner. Safety reasons too, because I've had a few bikes stolen, but we lock them. But now I put them in a shed behind there, so you really can't even see from the road. We lost a tree in the backyard, so we thought if we put this pergola up, we have a little bit of shade back there, because it's like now in the middle of the summer, the sun just beats right back in my yard.
Okay. Mr. Chairman, I'd like to mark as A1 a copy of the site plan, plot plan that's previously been submitted, which all of you should have a copy of.
Well,
And
the application, the submission of the application is A1 and the plans are A2, which
Oh.
was previously submitted, so it
Okay.
doesn't need to be marked.
all right,
Thank
perfect.
you.
So I'll refer to that plot plan then as A2. I have a blown-up copy of it, which I'm going to hand to Mr. Deaney to testify to, if that's okay with you, Mr. Chairman.
Yes.
Okay, so, Mr. Deanne, I just handed to you what's previously been marked as indicated by the board secretary as A2, which is a copy of, site plan or plot plan that was submitted by you in connection with this application. Do you
Mhm.
recognize that document that I handed to you?
Yes.
Can you, explain to me what it is?
Shows my property and where everything basically is on the property.
Does that document that's been marked as A2, as far as you're aware, fairly and accurately evidence the layout of the property, including your house, your two-story house, the rear yard, deck, sheds, et cetera?
Yes.
Does that plan additionally show the fencing along the property?
Yeah, wood fence, vinyl fence, wood fence, yep,
Okay.
and then, yeah, the wood fence in front.
And for purposes of the board, so they understand, with reference to A2, can you direct the board to the location of the pre-existing shed and the shed that was recently placed on your property? That's part of this application tonight?
Yeah, the shed on the east side, that's been there since I bought the house. Still standing. And then the one on the right is the little plastic shed we put for the bikes. That's the one we put up.
The shed that's located on the east side of the property, you said,
It's existing when I got the house.
okay, so approximately 25 years old?
Oh, yeah, probably more than that, but,
That shed, you said is still standing, you haven't replaced that shed?
no, just had to fix the roof because when the tree fell, it hit the roof and we had to put a patch on that roof and fix it. But other than that shed's been there.
Okay, and the shed that's on the west side of your property, is that the shed that you recently placed on the property and for which you're seeking approval for tonight?
Yes, that's it.
Similarly, with reference to this plot plan or site plan that's been previously marked as A2, can you explain for the board where the existing deck was and the new pergola area that was constructed?
Yeah, the wood deck itself was just replaced. It had some rotting wood and stuff. We replaced it with the wood there, and then we just added that pergola area to it with a little roof on it for the sun, keep the sun off us.
And as it relates to the deck that was replaced, do you know how high that deck is?
16 inches from the dirt in the ground. Yeah.
So is it fair to say that the deck that was replaced is close to grade level, almost akin to a patio?
Yeah, pretty close.
And that's approximately the same height it was before?
Yeah, exactly.
And as it relates to the area that was recently constructed, the pergola area, is that the same height?
Same height, yes.
Okay. I guess while we're on the subject of the deck, one of the board engineer's comments from Mr. Savakul was a question with respect to the permeability of the area below the deck.
Right.
Can you advise the board what exists below the
It's
deck?
just all dirt underneath, and then the slats are more than an eighth in there. They're like a quarter inch, so the water goes right through.
The slats you're referring to?
In between each board, yes.
Okay, that's all right. In between each board is more than a quarter or around a quarter of an inch.
Yeah, at least, yeah, but yeah, it's around a quarter.
And how do you know that?
I was out there helping them put it together, and we were putting the pieces, when we were putting them in, and then that's what we said. We even said, make sure we have this much space between each one when we screw it in.
And did you measure it as well?
Yes, I did.
Okay. So is it fair to say that stormwater, as the deck exists now, presently drains down through the deck?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. And as it relates to the pergola that you were referring to, can you describe that pergola to the board?
Just has a little tin roof on it, and then it's all wide open, and, so that's, a couple chairs there, that's it. That's it.
Does the pergola, is the pergola enclosed?
No,
So, is it fair to say it's open on three sides?
yes,
Okay, and does the pergola have any form of plumbing in it?
No,
Any form of electricity in it?
no, I run an extension cord out there to get a little bit of electric.
Okay, and do you run an extension cord out there for purposes of lighting?
Well, I put a little string light out there.
Okay, so the lights that you have
There's
on.
no lights per se, yeah, not just the string lights.
So there, is it fair to say that there's no lights that are potentially intrusive upon your neighbors?
No, I don't believe so.
And when you refer to string lights, you're referring to those string lights with the little bulbs? that-
Yes, correct, yeah.
Okay, and, but nothing of any permanent nature?
No. Mm-mm.
Just getting back to the shed, I
Yeah.
had a couple other questions with respect to the shed. You advised the board that the shed is being used for purposes of storing bicycles?
That's correct.
Okay, and previous to having that shed, where did you place bicycles and
Well,
things along those
those would
lines?
be, they're in the yard, tarp over them, and, yeah, because I don't have a basement to use. I have a Yankee basement, it's like, I'm just for mechanicals down there. So, and, so there's really nowhere to put them. I have multiple bikes, cause we have family members come over to ride in the summer and things, so, gets them out of the way, makes the yard look nicer.
So is it fair to say that the addition of this shed in your rear yard makes your overall property look more attractive to the neighbors?
Yes, I believe so, yes.
And it avoids having to place outdoor items under tarps that
Correct.
might be something that might be a bit of an eyesore?
Yeah, maybe you can see from the street, you know.
So I'm not saying this will help you with building coverage, because it won't, so I'm putting that aside, but did you ever think of just getting one compliant shed rather than two undersized sheds?
Never thought of that, but, yeah, that'd be something I would have to consider, I guess, but, I didn't even consider it, I just thought I'd put something up that wasn't, you know, just in the corner, and it was
Sometimes when you come
reasonable,
here, you get
it was reasonably,
considerations put in your head, and that's one that you
yeah,
can think about
I
as we go
understand.
forward.
Yeah, I
Which
mean,
is one
especially
compliant
if
shed,
it's-
which is bigger. The one shed is 10 by 7.9, it looks like, and you can go 10 by 12, I believe, right?
10 by
So
12.
you get about 5-6 feet extension out of
Wow.
that, which would fit bikes, and it would, now again, building coverage would probably be about the same with the two sheds versus one that's maybe a little bit less, cause the other shed probably is a little bigger than if the one, plus you sounded semi-amazed that that shed's still standing.
yeah, I know.
Um,
It was
Please
built well.
continue.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I think that's something that the applicant could consider if that's something the board is inclined to suggest. We are here, though, seeking approval for both sheds. And in that case, Mr. Chairman, he'd have to take down both sheds and put up a new larger one and
Oh, yeah.
moves you around.
I know what I'm asking.
No, I know. All right. So going back to the sheds, Mr. Danny,
Yes.
you advised that you believe that the installation of this new shed makes your yard more orderly and attractive. Is that fair to say?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Do you recall?
While we're on the shed thing,
Sure.
because I guess I'm just
No. Yeah. Absolutely.
overly shedding here. Why did you put it a foot off the property line too? So it's not in a compliant spot? So you
We
added
didn't
a second
think it
shed
through
that's
it.
not allowed, and then you put it in a place that's not allowed, so we're failing
We were
on the
being
shed
stupid,
checklist.
yeah, honestly, we just thought, oh, this would be a good spot, you know, and not thinking about it properly at the time.
Got it. Please proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Okay, so, Mr. Danny, did you have an opportunity to review the engineering letter from Mr. Savacool?
Yeah, yes.
Okay, and do you recall in there was another comment that was made with respect to your rinsing station or outdoor shower on the
Right.
side of your house?
Yeah, it has, yes,
Is that area covered in any way?
no,
Okay, so there's no roof on that.
no,
And Mr. Deanne, do you recall that there were some comments with respect to the height of fencing in and around your property?
Yes.
Okay, just to begin, as it relates to the fencing that surrounds your property, can you describe for the board where that fencing is located with reference to A2?
Well, the fencing in the front is 3 feet, it's all just white picket fence, that's all mine. All the other fences in the back were put up by neighbors. So the one, wood fence, if you're looking to the left, is that neighbor, and then the back fence, another neighbor put up that fence, and then, the house next to me, the newer house they built, they put a brand new, fence up there a few years back.
Okay, and, sorry,
I didn't put a fence, another fence, I don't need to, because they put their fence up, so it's fine.
sure. And how do you know that fence in the front yard is 3 feet?
I haven't measured it, and it's being replaced soon.
Do you recall there being a notation by Mr. Savacool about the references to and calculations to building coverage in his engineering report?
Yes.
And he noted a discrepancy between the building coverage shown in the application and the site plan calculation. Are you aware of that?
Yes.
And in connection with that, did you have your engineer recalculate that total building coverage?
Yes.
And do you know if he submitted something to the board in advance of this hearing that addressed that change?
I believe they did send it, yes.
I'll just note, Mr. Chairman, I guess for purposes of the record, that that discrepancy was addressed, and to the extent that I think there was a revised plan that you all don't have a copy of, only revised to note that change to the building coverage, which was recalculated, and it was recalculated at 32.6%. And to the extent, it wasn't submitted 10 days prior, but we would respectfully request that, to the extent that you'd like us to, and to the extent the application was approved, we could submit that revised plan, or the engineer could review that plan with the board engineer. Since that was the only change to recalculate the building coverage, which is nearly identical and consistent with the board engineer's calculation of 32.94.
Yeah, we're good.
Okay.
Ray, where did the note tiki bar not permitted? Is that because they have that pergola covered with something, so it got named a tiki bar?
Oh, yeah, I think so. I think that's what the zoning officer's referral seemed to say, yeah.
Right, okay.
Can we have some testimony to how that's,
To confirm that it's not.
how the pergola is used? And not to be too specific
sure.
about it, but a pergola is typically an open roof rafter structure.
Okay.
not
No, we
roofed.
put
Hold
a,
on, let him finish that.
That's all, just a clarification on that, but could you give us some testimony as how you use this?
yeah, I use it to get out of the sun. I put there's a metal roof on it, and then it's just open all 3/4 sides, basically, just, and I have stools, and then I just sit out there, have a little TV out there, and watch
Okay.
some stuff out there.
I want to expand on that a little bit, because you're talking about getting out of the sun, and as a
Yeah.
redhead, I understand. And it's, it's hard for me to put structures on my property because I don't have enough shade, for example, on my top deck. And the pergola's for shade, but you also have a retractable awning out there, yes?
Yes, yes.
And that's,
But that comes off the house, and then it comes off the house too, yes. But most of the yard is like in super sun, yes, correct.
although that pergola's not in most of the yard.
No, it is, it's right by the deck, right, correct.
Right, it's
It's just giving me more shade.
it's on the west side, yes?
Yes.
The pergola's on the west side,
Uh-huh.
okay. The awning comes off the north? I'm thinking about shade, that's all.
Yeah.
And how
it
you're
comes off
using
the
it.
back of the house. It comes
Yeah.
off the back of the house.
So it comes, so it would be on the north side of the deck?
It's on the,
Yes.
yes.
I'm
on
thinking
the
of
north
sun
side.
direction, that's all.
Yeah, no, but in the summer, the sun is directly over here hitting my yard like this. And so there's trees on this side, so even sometimes that shade from the trees blocking a little bit of shade by the house. But the rest of the yard is in flames, basically. But that was part of the reason that we wanted to go with that. And then, obviously, it's quality of life too,
Ray, is that, was that roof calculated in the building coverage?
Yes, yes, it was.
Yep.
Yeah, the pergola is specifically included, as well as the decking area, the 2 sheds. I do note on the revised plan that the applicant's engineer also included the shower, but Mr. Deanna just indicated that the shower is uncovered, so that amounts to about like 0.5%. So the building coverage is actually slightly lower than presented at 32.1, then be like 0.5% lower, since it's not covered, the shower itself. But everything else was captured in the calculation.
Do you have anything else, Ms. McFadden?
No,
Okay.
thank you.
So, Mr. Deanny, then, you'd said partially this for shade, but also, is it fair to say that you use this for purposes, you said quality of life? It's a place for you to go and sit outside.
correct, yes.
And does it provide more functional space for you and family and friends to enjoy themselves during the summer months?
Absolutely, yes.
And as previously indicated, there's no electrical or plumbing running to the
No.
structure, right?
Not at all.
Mr. Danny, in your opinion, does this addition to your deck and the shed, does it create any additional noise in your property that would otherwise be there?
No.
Do these improvements, actually withdrawn, would those improvements make your property more visually appealing than it would be if you didn't have them?
I believe so, yes.
In your opinion, are these types of improvements ordinary and customary residential type improvements?
I think so, yes.
I'm going to, Ms. Mills, are the photographs pre-marked as well?
Yeah, it was part of that application submission.
All as part of A2.
Everything submitted.
Okay. So, Mr. Deanny, in connection with your application, you also submitted a number of photographs for the
Yeah.
board's consideration. Is that accurate?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to hand you a copy of the photographs that you previously submitted, and I understand the board has considered as marked as A2. Can you take a look at those photographs for me?
Sure.
Are these, well, let me ask you a different question. Who took these photographs?
I took them.
Okay, and do these photographs accurately depict the condition of your property as it exists today?
Yes.
Do they accurately depict the side yard of your property, rear yard, pergola, and shed?
Yes.
For purposes of the board, can you direct the board to what they're looking at in each of the photographs that have been previously marked as A2?
Yeah, you see the original shed to the picture on the top,
So-
on the left, and then that's the grass, all in the grass in the backyard. And
Let me
then-
just ask you.
Yes.
I don't wanna derail your testimony.
Yeah.
I am so clear on what every picture is, I don't know if
Okay,
everyone on the board is
perfect.
confused by.
All right.
Mr. Chairman, I do have a question.
Yeah, sure.
I don't see the 3-foot fence on this picture. I see it on Google Street View, but I don't see it on this picture.
I didn't have that one.
There is none of the
Yeah,
side
the-
of that side of the house with the 3-foot.
Well, that's the front yard, the 3-foot fence is in the front yard,
Uh-huh.
and so these well, Mr. Danny, do these photos depict any of your front yard, or are they only your backyard?
This is just the
Okay, oh, I see.
backyard.
This is the view dip. Am I looking at this right now? This is this view here, right? Here's the fence?
So the 3-foot
Yeah.
fence is like that
Yep.
picket fence in the.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's not here.
I think I see a little part of the 3-foot picket in
Okay,
front
on
in
the far
front
right-
of where
the
the
far
bike,
left there?
in front of where the bikes are, is that the, where the
Yeah.
3-foot starts?
Okay,
Oh, yeah.
okay, thank you.
Oh, yeah, Mr. Deaney, so, it starts there on the left side, and then it goes into your front yard, is that accurate?
Yes.
Okay,
Okay.
Yes.
I mean, this isn't overly complicated, right? I think we've heard a lot of testimony, we
Yeah.
understand what's going on. Is this an appropriate time before deliberations to propose, again, what I think would be a reasonable offer of modification?
Yes, but I would say, why don't you open it to the public first, just to see, in
Yeah,
case there's anyone here, I don't think there will be, but just in case there's anyone here that wants to be heard on it before, giving any thoughts.
Absolutely, I'll let you finish, I'm not cutting
Sure,
you off
absolutely.
yet before that public, so you finish up, but I also think
Okay.
we have a very good handle of everything that's happening here. But anyone else on the board have any other questions, comments, agree with that statement, that we
Yep.
kinda get it?
Yeah, I agree with that.
yep.
The pergola itself, is that still part of the same original footprint of the original porch?
No.
That was added. that
No,
piece
and
of the
Mr. Reynolds, if you look on the, site plan, you can see where it says pergola with roof,
Yeah.
that's the added part. The wood deck, as Mr. Deaney testified to, is in the same condition that's always been for the past, or the same location as it's always been for 25, 30 years, whatever it's been.
Mr. McGee?
Yeah, the new shed, is that large enough to fit the bikes that you have?
Yeah, I could fit like 5 or 6 bikes, basically.
And you don't have more than 5 or 6 bikes usually
I
at
do.
a time?
No, I do, cause I keep them for relatives come down, my nieces come down and family.
The reason I ask-
usually bike, cause there's no parking in town in summer, so.
Yeah, I live right near you. The reason I ask is, I'm just thinking out loud if it might make sense to just get rid of the antique shed and just keep what you've put and put it in a conforming spot, this way we wouldn't have to go buy a bigger one.
Possibly,
Well,
or,
let him finish, just let him finish.
Try and help. This way, you wouldn't have to go get rid of this one and buy another, I'm just spitballing. You know, I know I'm not here to offer solutions, but just kind of thinking out loud.
Then he has no place to put the things that are in the antique shed.
Yeah.
That's why he might need a bigger one.
Fair enough. Yankee basement can fit stuff.
But one is starting to get down the right path.
There's a theme here, Mr. Chairman.
Boy, that was a hint.
Anything else
Uh,
before I call public? or-
Sure. I don't have any other testimony for Mr. Deaney, unless the board has any other questions for him. I understand that, one of Mr. Deaney's neighbors is here, for purposes of public comment. And I'll just also ask you, Mr. Deaney, have you had any conversations with your neighbors with respect to this application?
yeah, I just said I was coming here, and cause she approached me about this, she got the letter in the mail.
Okay, but has anyone complained to you about this, any of your neighbors?
No.
Okay. I don't have anything else. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thanks. Anyone from the public that wants to come on up? And we'll just go right to both combo questions and comments, so you're gonna get sworn in as well, and then you can tell us how you feel about the case or ask any questions.
Sit or stand?
Do whatever you want.
Hey, can't really tell the difference. Chesla Wexler, CHESLA, Wexler, WECHSLER. 706 Fort.
Raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you give before this board will be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yep. We're the eastern neighbors, so we're on the east side with the wooden fence, and we're thrilled with the improvements. We've not got any issues with it. We're actually very happy that the bicycles are no longer covered by tarps and sitting on the side yard, but are instead in a, covered shed and safe as well, since they did have some thefts. We've been there since 2015. We've never had any issues whatsoever with these neighbors with respect to any sort of, outside lights, outside noise, entertainment. They've done entertainment, and even the other day I was putting my garbage out. I didn't even realize that they'd been outside looking at the TV out on their deck. Like, we didn't even know that there was anybody out there. So as far as we're concerned, everything seems fine to us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Anyone on the board have any other questions?
I just got one clarification. On the, on the, report from the engineer, everything that's listed for a variance also says existing. I just want clarification on that. Let's see, it was on the second page.
So, yeah, first page, front yard, those are all existing conditions, side yard setback, the house predates, the ordinance requirements. Yeah, so they're listed as existing, because they already do exist. However, they don't exist for such a period of time as they are legally pre-existing accessory structures. So we did list them as existing, even though the applicant is here seeking variance relief for, and to legalize their current location and status.
Thank you.
But just as a point of clarification, I think, Mr. Reynolds, as it relates to the accessory side yard setback for the shed on the east, accessory rear yard setback for the shed on the east, that shed hasn't moved and hasn't been, as he testified to, as Mr. Danny testified to, hasn't been altered in 25, 30 years. So I suppose we're still seeking.
I would agree with Mr. Dolan on that. The testimony has been that the shed was there when the applicant purchased the property. I wouldn't necessarily, if the board wasn't inclined, I would just recognize it as an existing condition rather than grant relief, unless the testimony is compelling that you feel that the shed and its location should violate the required setbacks.
Thank you.
Good, Ben, now can I, and again, I'm one person on the board. You certainly can do your own analysis of where you think people are at, but for me, I'm just wanting to see one shed in a compliant spot. And that shed has the ability to be bigger than either of the other two sheds, because I don't think, from a zoning perspective, although the neighbor had no issue, that's fine. We know this decision will sit with this lot forever, and I just don't think it's a smart decision to create a variance when it doesn't need to be, especially when it's put 1 foot on the property line. So that's where I'm coming from. And I'm not looking at the pergola thing, I'm okay with everything else. It's the sheds and having 2 sheds. Because it's also, by adding the second shed, creating some building coverage overage that would probably disappear, and I'm even willing to look beyond that. So it's not like I'm not willing to give, but I think that's my one area that I'm gonna ask for, otherwise you know where I'll be heading.
I understand, Mr. Chairman, I appreciate your comment, and maybe that's a reasonable solution. I think in that case, he may be back if he still needs a shed that's bigger than 12. How big can it be, 12?
120
10 by 12?
square feet.
Yeah.
120 square feet, no wall greater than 12 feet in length.
So
I don't know, these two together aren't much over that, are they, Ray?
The
They're
two
like-
together, they're 80 and 72, so they're 153 square feet.
Yeah, so it's a little.
Right, and that being said, the one that looks like a barn, it may have the floor space of 100, but it doesn't have the storage space that
Because of the
a
angle.
new shed would.
Mhm.
I mean, just piggybacking off what he said, 2 sheds on property, it seems to me, we've been on the board for 20 years, it seems like it's always been a no-no. I mean, you'd be hard pressed to find property that we had anything to do with that has 2 sheds on it.
Yeah. Can I speak with my client for a second?
Yeah. If you wanna do it right over there, if you wanna go in the hall.
Yeah, let me
whatever.
talk to him in the hallway room.
Sure.
Just give me 2 minutes?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Gonna take 2 minutes.
It's official. It'll be the longest 5 minutes of your life.
Oh, you flew in? I was supposed to be on the 6th yesterday, and then at 3 a.m. Speaking of
Where we come from?
South Carolina, they're down there for
Yeah.
work.
They've been there.
Where at?
Spartanburg.
They were there with
Oh, okay.
So,
I have a place in,
Two sheds on
Mount Pleasant.
oh, do you?
Yeah, right outside
Oh,
Charleston.
nice.
So
Yeah.
they've been there.
So I
I'm always
know.
around that way, if you ever have like a bad situation, just shoot me a text and I can be there in a couple hours, honestly, like.
There is a generator.
No way.
I have a realtor down there that actually sold my first place down there. We're like best friends. He was just actually over there, the other
Is that
day,
right?
because all my smoke detectors needed new batteries.
Next door neighbor.
I was like, hey, get me in there.
Our next door neighbor.
I was like, I'll take
Reopen the
50
meeting,
batteries.
get a roll call, please. Everybody's here.
Yeah, I'm here.
Ms. McFadden, Vice Chair Reynolds,
Here.
Chairman Strunches.
Here.
Mr. McGee.
Here.
Mr. Clayton.
Here.
Mr. Simon.
Here.
Okay, Mr. Chairman, I had an opportunity to have a discussion with my client, and my client agrees with your suggestion to the extent that the board is inclined to approve the application with a condition that the new shed be removed, and if Mr. Deaney would like to then replace the old shed with a bigger shed that's in compliance with the code and within the setback, he'll file for a building permit to do so and remove that old shed.
That's good with me. Again, I'm not making this
No, no.
for everybody, but I think people would be jumping up if they felt strongly in some other way, so, understood. So, I'll let you, close it up with a summation, and then we're gonna go to deliberations, and then that'll end our negotiations and back and forth, so, wrap it up.
It's a collaborative process, right?
We
So,
try to be.
and I appreciate that. So I don't have much to say. I won't be long. There was a lot of testimony. You heard from Mr. Deaney as it relates to the purpose for the construction, the fact that this deck existed primarily in the same place that's in now, save for the little extension that he put on. He hasn't had any complaints from his neighbors. It creates a more visually beneficial backyard. Helps with organization in the backyard. As indicated, he's willing to agree to the condition with respect to the removal of the shed. And I think based on Mr. Deaney's testimony, as well as the testimony from one of his neighbors that came here, there's no substantial detriment to the public good. The benefits outweigh the detriments on this application. And I believe Mr. Deaney satisfied the standard for C2 variance relief. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else on the board? Anything else? Good. Get a motion to close for deliberations, please.
So moved.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Mr.
Okay,
Davis?
well, so nice that we got a resolution about the two shed issue. I think that was probably the major sticking point on the case. It's somewhat of an oversized lot, so going over on coverage, that's always one of those things that catches our attention, and so I'm glad we're going to be reducing that. With respect to the pergola and the deck, we didn't really have any testimony as to why they were done without permits, other than it was a restructure of it, but since it was an addition, it really should have been addressed. But regardless, it's, I think they're a benefit to the backyard, providing some additional shade, some enjoyment for outdoor living space, which I'm always in favor of. I certainly don't see it as a detriment to the zone, and the neighbors confirm that as well. So, with the resolution in hand, I think it's a good application.
Ms. McFadden?
Yeah, I, as usual, I agree with Mr. Davis. I see the benefit of providing additional shade for a family. Again, doing it without the permit, not the greatest thing, but, as long as we have this compromise now, removing the smaller sheds and getting that shed, basically, it was on the property line practically, and getting it off the property line and having the one larger one, I'm good with it.
All right.
Mr. Reynolds?
Okay, in regards to the pergola, I think it's actually a great idea because the option would be a giant umbrella right? To get the shade, it would be an umbrella, the wind would blow it over, you gotta maintain it, you gotta replace it every couple of years. I think that is a good situation. In regards to the shed, I really appreciate you taking into consideration, do one shed, get rid of the two sheds. It makes me feel better just because of our 20-year history of not doing it. Other than that, I think it's great. I think the backyard looks great.
Shanky?
Yeah, no problem with the pergola. I think if the goal is to kind of tidy up the yard and avoid parks on bikes and kind of making things a little bit neater, I think the idea of one conforming shed is gonna look a lot better than two outbuildings on separate corners of the yard. So with that compromise, I'm fine.
Clayton?
Short and sweet, I'll just piggyback off Mr. Davis's comments. I'm good with the resolution and also appreciate the neighbors' comments.
Mr. Simonovich?
I have nothing substantive to add, Mr. Chairman.
Me either. We can close deliberations.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Ben?
The only condition would be the agreement to remove the new shed, that being the plastic shed, and either keep the one old existing or submit for a permit and get a single shed in a compliant location and size.
Can
And
I,
again, if they wanna take the old shed down and keep the new shed and put that in compliant, it just
Theoretically,
goes down
right.
from 2 to 1.
2 to 1,
Either one in a
in a
compliant
compliant location, compliant size.
Yep.
can I ask one question, and maybe this is a question more
Again, for Ben.
for
Sure.
Mr. Montenegro or Mr. Savicle.
Mhm.
Maybe Mr. Savicle is better with math and can do this quickly off the top of his head, but if the new shed is removed and Mr. Deanne takes down the old shed and puts up another shed at the maximum size limit that's permitted in the zone, is he still going to be over building coverage, and is he going to have to come back before this board? And if the answer is yes, could we agree as part of the condition that he's permitted to install a shed so long as it remains in compliance with setbacks and is in compliance with the code as to size? But if he's over building coverage, the variance extends to that.
Oh, yeah, we're gonna,
Yeah,
that's
so-
definitely the intent of
Yeah,
what
that
we're
was-
saying.
I agree it's
Yeah.
intent, I just wanna make sure it's
Yeah.
covered, so we're not back here in 6 months on that issue.
32.1.
So the, yeah, it would be slightly less with the maximum size single shed, but it would still be over, so that's certainly an appropriate,
Ben can
condition
write it up
or-
that way, and we recognize that that would be the case, yeah.
Okay, great.
I'll cover it.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
With stated conditions, get a motion for approval, please.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Ms. McKee, second by Ms. McFadden, to approve application 2026-08 to Joseph Deanne at 78 Pullman Avenue with condition. Secretary Davis.
Yes.
Ms. McFadden.
Yes.
Vice Chair Reynolds.
Yes.
Mr. McGee.
Yes.
Mr. Clayton.
Yes.
Mr. Simonovich.
Yes.
Chairman Strauss.
Yes.
Application approved with conditions.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Have a good night.
You too.
You too.
Go next.
Yeah. Hopefully you're off from, right?
Thanks, bye. Take care. Bye, Matt.
see Matt.
Very nice to meet you.
Nice to see you. Take care.
Right, I knew they were familiar.
Yeah.
You're on.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. Jillian McClear from John Jackson and Associates here tonight on behalf of the applicant for 119 Parkway in Point Pleasant Beach. I have here with me tonight Ms. Amy Reisenberger, who is one of the applicants, as well as our architect, Mr. Paul Rugarber. Before we begin, I would respectfully request that that we have marked into the record my PowerPoint exhibit as A1, and A3, thank you, and I do have copies to pass around to the board members.
Sure.
I have to write this out, 'cause I always want to go. Yeah.
application before the board tonight involves a thoughtful renovation of an existing detached garage located at 119 Parkway. And our proposal tonight seeks to modernize the structure to include a more functional space that better serves the residential needs of this property. And we look forward to walking the board through our testimony tonight from Ms. Reisenberger and also Mr. Rugarber regarding the architectural plans to show why this proposal is a good fit for this property and for the community. And with that being said, I'd like to introduce my first witness, Ms. Amy Reisenberger.
Do you swear or affirm the testimony you'll give before this board will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Ms. Reisenberger, can you please advise the board, how long have you, well, first of all, you are the owner of 119 Parkway, correct?
Yes, correct.
And how long have you owned this property?
It'll be 10 years this fall.
And can you describe the current layout of the existing detached garage?
Yes, so our house, the front of the house is on Parkway, and then the garage is on Baltimore. And we have a rock driveway that separates the house from the detached garage.
Okay. And how is the garage currently being utilized?
We fit a car in, we can fit two in there, and it's kind of old inside, and it has all my son's toys, bikes, patio furniture, holiday decorations. We have a very tiny house, so it's just a big kind of storage space right now.
And why are you proposing to add a storage area to the back of the garage?
Just because currently it's very rough, like I go in there a lot, we do keep a lot of things because I cannot have a finished basement. And our house is maybe not even 1,600 square feet. So we just store a lot of things in there. And I'm constantly going in, and there's bugs, there's been mice in there. And we just like to have like a nicer spot to keep all of our stuff and know that it won't be destroyed year round.
Okay. And just so we're clear for the record, can you explain how you intend to use that storage portion of the building if this application is approved tonight?
Yeah, so I like to put up a wall and separate the front of the garage where the car goes in, and then just, build cabinets and have some heating and cooling, and so I can have my son's toys in there, maybe throw in like a ping pong table, or just you make it more of like a neat space for the family.
So, in other words, you would be carrying out activities typical to that that would typically occur in a detached garage in the community?
Yes.
And do you believe that this renovation, this application, will allow you to better enjoy your property without interfering with your neighbors' enjoyment of theirs?
Yes. The the structure is existing, so they wouldn't even really know anything was different.
Okay. And will the storage area ever be rented out to third parties or used for any commercial purposes?
No, absolutely not.
And will anyone, including family members or guests, ever be residing or sleeping in that storage
No,
area?
absolutely not.
Okay, thank you very much. Those were all the questions I had of Ms. Reisenberger at this time.
I have one question.
Yes.
Is there a plan to have a gate between the pool area and the, what would be the doors to this garage storage area?
There's a gate already on the pool, and then the driveway's in between,
Mhm.
and there's a door already to go in.
And that's gonna remain?
Yes, the door is going to remain.
Okay.
Ray, what's the ruling? I know we allow electric, no plumbing typically in a detached garage, but I've never heard the heating and cooling aspect of it. Is that a normal amenity to a garage?
I wouldn't say it's normal. I wouldn't say there's a prohibition against it.
Okay.
There's certainly folks who don't like to get in a cold car in the morning. So I have seen garages that actually are climate controlled.
Okay. There's nothing that states it can't be.
That is correct.
That's what I wanted to know.
And just to confirm, no water?
No, no water.
Correct.
Okay.
And Mr. Chairman and members of the board, Mr. Rugarber will be providing further more specific testimony shortly about you know, what the proposal itself, the ins and outs of it. So we can.
We're ready for him,
We can further comment on that now.
or unless there's any other questions by the board for the applicant? Nope.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Eisenberg. Okay, Mr. Chairman, I'd like to now call as my second witness, Mr. Paul Rugarber.
Do you swear or affirm a testimony you give before this board will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Just enough for the record, as you've been here many times, if you can.
Paul Rugarber, PDR Designs Architecture, 501 Laurel Ave, Point Pleasant Beach, registered architect, state of New Jersey, here before this board many times.
You have. We accept. Please continue.
Mr. Rugarber, can you please take us through a brief history of the property, specifically regarding the history of the garage?
Sure. The existing garage is a very old structure. If you look back in time on the Google Maps, you can see a very old shingle roof, and it's been there a long time. So we're altering the roof line on it, which is in the setback, therefore triggering variances. On the front, the west side, which is Baltimore Ave facing, where you have 25 feet is required, 4.1 feet is existing there. That's not changing. On the rear, north facing, where 5 feet is required, 1.2 feet is existing there. That's not changing. And the right side setback, where 5 feet is required, 1.5 feet exists, and that's not changing there. There are, regarding zoning, those are the setback requirements. Building coverage, we're fine on that. As far as 30% is required, we're existing 24.2. Impervious coverage, 50% is the maximum. We're at 51% existing. We actually get a reduction because there is a little retaining wall in that back east corner that we're gonna be taking out. Therefore, it drops us down to 50.9%. So it is a reduction there. Off-street parking spaces, we have 2 required. There are 3 existing, 3 to remain, although we do have space for more there. The building height accessory structure is 1 story, which is remaining, and height of 16 feet max is allowed. The current roof is at 13. The east side portion, we are gonna reframe the roof in there, make it more decorative. That's gonna push us up to about 15.56, which is still under the 16-foot that's allowed on the accessory structure. So the main roof line, I said, is remaining on the east side facing, or the west side facing Baltimore. We are adding a decorative gable on there. We want to dress up this long railroad-style home or garage structure. The gable is in the setback that will be fire-rated construction there. The roof at the rear of the structure, the east side of the property will be removed and rebuilt taller with a gable end, and the north gable on that will be fire rated due to proximity to the existing property line. We're gonna be doing new gutters and leaders installed. This will be draining the water to the west, which is Baltimore Ave, rather than currently the back of that goes onto the property next door, the neighbor's property there. The portion of the existing planter wall, I said, will be removed on the east end of the driveway. The exterior materials, it has existing vinyl siding on it. We're gonna add some board and batten accents in the gables. Asphalt roofing is gonna be all new on there, and we're gonna add in the aluminum gutters. The portion of the garage interior will be converted into a new storage space. That'll be accessible from the driveway. The large door gives us the benefit of being able to move things in and out, also brings in natural light, and more importantly, it makes it more attractive. One of the goals was to make this a little bit more attractive on the outside, make it a little more cottage style. The existing home is from about the 1920s, so this will help make it more decorative as the existing house is. The square footage of the garage structure does not change. Any new materials used are gonna be flood resistant, as the design flood elevation is 12 in this area, and the garage slab is at about elevation 6.4. I don't feel that this creates any detriment in any way. What we're proposing, it helps increase the look of the neighborhood and a more functional space.
No water, no sewer.
What's that?
No water, no sewer?
That's correct.
I have one question. You have these beautiful glass doors on a storage space.
Yes. Again, we wanted to try and blend in the aesthetic of the home and make it nicer looking, so it just doesn't look like one big, long railroad building, which is currently.
So it's a sort of a design thing?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Am I correct as far as when I look at the pictures, you know, when those nice doors, the pulling in one of the cars is gonna be right, you know, in front of it?
Well, the parking, if you look on the site plan, the parking is not shown up that far. So those doors are here toward the back, and they face the house and the pool area in there. And then here, we have, on the site plan, we have two cars, one here and here, and then the other one in the garage. So here, this is the Baltimore Ave, so we have the two cars here, the other car in the garage, and those doors, again, are facing the house this way. Doors face this side.
Ben, can you address,
Exactly, right here, right?
number 7, and the recommendation from Ray on that, and if that's an acceptable piece, and how you feel, whether that should be something that's in there?
Yeah, I think it's appropriate. I'm assuming it's your opinion that the proposed use does not violate the flood damage prevention ordinance?
That's correct.
Yeah, and
And you're
almost-
not seeking any variance relief for that, right?
That's correct.
And yeah, I think it's appropriate to have it as a condition and
Deed.
by way of deed restriction. And the reason is if the owner, and they may stay there for a long time, but let's say they sold in a couple of years, during the course of doing real estate closings, most, whether it's realtors or the closing attorneys, do not go to Karen and ask for the old resolutions. So if it isn't in a deed restriction and it's just in a resolution, it usually won't get picked up by the new buyer, and they might not be understanding of what the limitations are or what the presentation was here today. But if it's in a deed restriction, when they run the title work, it will pop up on the title work, and then everybody would know exactly what was presented and what was approved here.
Is that an acceptable condition?
Yes, we are fine with that.
Okay.
And Mr. Rugover, can we please go through Mr. Savacool's letter and just confirm for the board that we're okay with all of his comments otherwise?
I think 1, the bulk variances, that was done.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
2 was done.
Yep, 3, number 3 is correct with the existing tables and existing nonconformities.
4, you're certainly not going for a C1 here, C2, right? There's no
Correct.
hardship.
Yep, benefits outweigh the detriments, as I stated, I agree with that one. Item 5, believe we covered that one in what we testified. Applicant number 6, shall provide testimony regarding reconfiguring, we did that. 7 as a condition, deed restriction, that's fine. 8, the approval to structure, substantial improvement, doesn't apply to this situation as it's not part of the house.
Even an accessory structure can have a substantial improvement. Just read the FEMA guidance document on it.
Okay.
So believe it or not, because your garage is part of your flood insurance policy up to 10% of your coverage. So your detached garage actually is covered under your flood insurance policy. I didn't know that
That's
until I just read it
good to know.
very recently. So you can have a substantial improvement on your detached garage. So as long as this is not a substantial improvement, then you don't have to put in the flood vents.
Yeah, so we wouldn't be triggering anything we wouldn't be going over that 50%.
And Mr. Rugover, can we agree to number 8 regarding the driveway? Or
Yes,
excuse me,
number
number
9.
9, I'm sorry.
Yes,
Number 9.
correct. We will be replacing all the broken concrete in front of it on the west side on Baltimore. And the driveway itself is gravel.
Anything else from the board? No other questions? Any anything else you wanna finish up with?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. As you heard tonight, we are here seeking C variance relief for a thoughtful renovation to a pre-existing detached garage on the property. We're trying to reconfigure a portion of its interior footprint to create a functional storage space. You heard tonight that the space will have no running water, no kitchen facilities, no sleeping quarters. We're certainly fine with the deed restriction. This is simply a storage area. Ms. Reisenberger testified that, you know, there might be some activities, as would any family typically do in a detached garage in town. Most importantly, we feel that this application must be viewed in the lens of this specific community. By definition, coastal living dictates a unique relationship with accessory structures. The applicants do have a pool, they have a beautiful backyard. This will provide a space for them to store their pool equipment. And certainly it's going to provide, as Mr. Rugarber testified to, very much an aesthetic upgrade to the property in keeping with the beautifully maintained home on the property. So for these reasons, we do respectfully submit this application satisfies the criteria for relief, that it advances the purposes of zoning by promoting an orderly and efficient use of the property without any substantial detriment to the surrounding neighborhood. We thank you for your time tonight and respectfully request that this application be approved with the conditions as noted. Thank you very much.
What do you got there, Ben?
Really, the only conditions are the compliance with the Ray's report, the items in Ray's report, and specifically that deed restriction. No other special conditions, and I would just let the record reflect that there is no public here to be heard on the application.
Very good.
If we threw that out there, I missed it, but
Nope. All right, get a motion to close for deliberations.
So moved.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Mr. Davis?
Yeah, I think this is kind of a smart use of a dead space garage. It's not like we're adding an extension onto an existing structure. It exists. Setback issues exist. I'll just comment that this is one of my favorite houses in town. It's an absolutely charming house. I think revitalizing this is smart zoning. It adds some improvement to what is otherwise a dead space. Within that garage, there's not room for a car to turn into that space, so why not use it for some cleaned up storage? I think that makes good sense. Certainly no detriment to the zone. I see no reason to stand in objection.
Mr. McFadden?
Yeah, I think it's a very attractive plan, which is really good for the neighborhood. It advances the purposes of the zoning. You mentioned how it's gonna be fire rated and flood resistant. And also, I walk that area a lot. I know the house very well, and I walk there a lot, and I'm very happy that you're going to be replacing the sidewalk and the driveway. I wish more people would do that. So I'm in favor of this application.
I'm the only one who grew up a block away, though. At 219 Parkway. Day rental.
Thank you. I believe that other than the aesthetic upgrades, nobody in the neighborhood is gonna know the difference. Basically, we're putting the wall up, separating the car from the storage, making an existing building, and I emphasize existing, look better. Got no problem.
Mr. McGee?
Yeah, I'm inclined to agree, and have nothing much to add.
Mr. Clayton?
Ditto.
Mr. Simon?
I have a few words this evening as well, nothing else from me.
No, I think it's all been stated very well in terms of how we're improving the look, and certainly there's no negative effect here, so. Get a motion to close deliberations.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Get a motion for approval, please.
I make a motion that we approve with the said condition of the deed restriction.
And replacing the sidewalk.
Well, that's part of the, that's part of the
Part of the application, okay.
Second.
Motion by Vice Chair Reynolds, second by Mr. McGee, to approve application 2026-11 of Michael Andrei-Scavage and Amy Reisenberg at 119 Parkway with conditions. Secretary Davis?
Yes.
Ms. McFadden?
Yes.
Vice Chair Reynolds?
Yes.
Mr. McGee?
Yes.
Mr. Clayton?
Yes.
Mr. Simonovich?
Yes.
Chairman Scruggs?
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Approved. Motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Yeah.
I gotta wear this shirt more often.
Keep that on the record.
Turn that one.